Okay, I'd like to call the Budget Review Committee to order. It's October 6, 2021. We're meeting in the Aldermatic Chamber and via Zoom, and the meeting link can be found in the agenda. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Ernest Jettie.
Here.
Alderman Jan Schmidt.
I am present at home due to a cold that I've picked up, and I am alone except for my bird.
Okay. Alderwoman at Large Shoshana Kelly.
I'm here, I'm alone, I can hear everyone, and I am staying at home due to my children and COVID.
Alderman at Large Michael B. O'Brien Sr. is present in the chamber. Alderman at Large Laurie Wilshire.
I'm here.
Alderman at Large Ben Clemens.
I am participating via Zoom. I can hear everybody, and I'm staying safer at home.
And our chairman, Richard A. Dowd.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members present.
Okay, also we have Administrative Services Director Kim Kleiner, the Mayor Jim Donchis, Dan Donovan, Chief Operating Officer of the National School District. And I believe we have Director Cummings as well.
And me.
Oh, Alderman Loop.
Harriet Cuthbert.
Okay. First item on the agenda is public comment. Is there anyone that would like to have public comment on any item on the agenda this evening? I don't see anyone, so moving on. Communications,
There are none.
unfinished business,
There are none.
new business resolutions.
Before us this evening is R-21-173, approving the cost items of a collective bargaining agreement between the Nashua Board of Education and the Nashua Teachers Union, local number 1044, AFT, AFL-CIO, Unit B, Para Educators, from July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2022, and related transfers. Mr. Chairman, I would like to make the motion to recommend final passage by roll call.
Okay, the motion is to recommend final passage. Is there anyone here from the school district to explain the overall contract? You can sit up on there. Just tell us who you are.
Daniel Donovan, the Chief Operating Officer for the school district. As Alderman O'Brien had mentioned, it's a 2-year contract for July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2022. So basically 1 year is already over. It will be retroactive. It's 2 years with an increase of 2.1% with steps. This contract has many steps in it. So the total cost with steps of the salaries is 3.2% for both years. It rounds to 3.2 for both years. Other than that, as far as financial items, we did give an increase for those paras that have worked more than 30 years in the district. God bless them. They are getting a increase of $500 in their longevity. There's about 14 of them at this point. So it's a very total, it's about $8,000 in total. And the other small cost item is that we have increased when paras cover for teachers, when teachers are out either for an hour or two or potentially for a day, they get extra pay. It used to be $5 for the first 30 minutes up to a maximum of $38 a day. It is now $6 for the first half hour up to a max of $50 a day. And other than that, they did accept the new language on the health insurance. They're slightly different in that the city pays 80% of a single plan. It does not pay 80% of a two-person or family plan. There are limits, there are caps on those. The caps were decreased slightly in the negotiation, but the new HMO language is intact as requested by the new plan.
Mhm. So, looks like in FY '21, there was a total increase in dollars on the contract of $297,111. And in FY '22, it's less than that, it's $287,777. I assume that's because the healthcare costs went down.
Exactly.
But the question I always ask, particularly in school contracts, is that you had more than that amount put aside in contingency for contracts to cover this.
Actually, we don't have contingency to cover the full amount of the salary, but we do have open positions that will cover that handle.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions for Mr. Donovan? Alderman Jettie?
Thank you. I'm under the impression that our para educators are underpaid. I don't know if that's true or not. Do you have any idea how our para educators pay compares to para educators in other districts in the state or in the northern Massachusetts?
Well, typically, we don't compare to Massachusetts. Most salaries in Massachusetts for public people are just higher in Mass than they are in New Hampshire. And we're right on the border, so that complicates it slightly, but trying to compare it to Mass salaries, we're always typically well below Mass salaries. I would suggest our para-educators are far from being overpaid. The starting salary, even with this contract, is a little less for a first-year person with no experience, a little less than $15 an hour. So they're certainly not highly paid. I have not done an analysis compared to other districts in the area. But I would point more towards underpaid than overpaid, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
What's that, Alderman Jettie?
Yes.
Yeah, I would point out that people working at McDonald's now make more than a para starting.
That's what I was afraid of.
Alderman Lou?
Thank you. Are you fully staffed on your paras?
No, we're at this point in time, probably 80-something paras under staff versus what we have in the budget. It's been a very difficult time finding paras.
Follow-up, please? What
Follow-up?
What percentage is that?
I would say that's about 18%.
You mean we have 15% of what we feel we need?
What's budgeted, what we would like to have, yes.
Huh. Thank you.
We have lots of, paras is the largest group, but we have openings everywhere in the district. COVID has wreaked havoc on the workforce in the district.
Follow-up?
Thank you. Just a thought. I mean, we are competing with people we're hiring. If they're in New Hampshire, they're choosing to work in New Hampshire or in Mass. I wonder if it would be, if it's possible to do a comparison. Working in the factors of what additional taxes someone pay, what part of their income working in Mass and living in New Hampshire takes away from your bottom line, and that kind of thing. Certainly, I mean, if we're short 85% of our work force need, especially in the schools, I would hope that we've got a plan. Thank you.
Yeah, and this will be coming back before us again after they negotiate with the Board of Education mid-year, right? Because this only goes until July?
Yeah, this carries us through this school year, and then we'll begin
Right.
to negotiate again.
Okay. And are there any other questions?
Mr. Chair,
Mayor?
I think this is a very good contract. These people work very hard, a great value for the city, for the school district. And we do have these pairs that work for 35 years and they don't make much money. And so I think we should approve this and begin negotiating for the next contract.
Thank you. All right, there are no other questions. The motion on the floor is to recommend to the full board final passage of R 21-173, approving the cost items of a collective bargaining agreement between the National Board of Education and the National Teachers Union, local number 1044, AFT, AFL-CIO, Unit B, para educators, from July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2022, and related transfers. All those we have Zoom.
Zoom.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alderman Clemmons.
Yes.
Alderman Schmidt.
Yes.
Alderman Jettie.
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire.
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien votes yes. Alderwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Dowd.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 7 yeas, 0 nays.
Okay, motion passes and will be recommended to the full board. New business ordinances?
There are none.
Okay, nothing tabled in committee. General discussion, does anyone have any? No? And again, public comment? Or anyone that wishes to speak in public comment? Yes. Please identify yourself.
Excuse me, good evening. My name is Adam Marcoux. I live at 4 Jalori Lane. I'm president of the Nashua Teachers Union, and I'd like to thank the committee for recommending final passage. I agree with a lot of things said here tonight about the paras who do so much and work so hard for our district. And, you know, the question was about comparisons with other districts. And the problem with that is it's not similar to teacher contracts across the state. Para contracts are very unique. For example, in Hudson, a majority of those paras are part-time and have a different structure than our paras here in Nashua. So you're not always getting apples to apples in that sense. Their health insurance continues to be a serious roadblock for us in maintaining paras when they are hired. Some of our paras, even with the changes today, when this goes into effect, will still have to pay out-of-pocket additional expenses towards their health insurance that is not covered in their paycheck. We are the only unit that I'm aware of in the city that does not have the same 80-20 split across that the teachers, food service, and paras secretaries have currently in other units in the city. So is there always work to be done? Yes. Is this the best contract ever? No, but it is a fair deal that we worked out with the city and the district. The district and the board. We had a lot of obstacles negotiating this contract. We started this in 2019. There was no such thing as COVID-19 protocol. We got held up with that. We had some other major delays, including the death of the chief negotiator for our side of the table, which held things up a little bit, and some changes at central office, and then brought on Dr. McKinney and Mr. Donovan to close things up quickly, and thank them for their participation in the process, because when they came on board, things moved much quicker to get this settled. So we will be back, hopefully before June, to bring a new contract that's longer than a 2-year deal, but That's part of negotiating, and we look forward to that process. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Seeing none. Any remarks by Alderman? Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As many of you know, in years past, my wife, Diane, did work as a para up at Broad Street School in the special education department, and this was within the preschool program. Part of her job was to assist in getting the special needs children potty trained. You know, these are kids that had some medical issues and everything, and I just have to say in general to all the paras, some of them I know personally and everything, that they do yeoman work. Education in the city could not go on if teachers could not teach if they didn't have the structure of the para program to assist them. So this is one of the first para contracts since I've been on the board that I could vote for, because being a member of the board with my wife employed as a para, I could not. But I am excited that I could have my vote counted this evening for the yeoman work that this group has done to assist educating children in the city of Nashua. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No problem. Okay. Any other comments? We don't need a non-public. Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make a motion to adjourn by roll call.
Would you please call the roll?
Alderman Clemmons,
Yes.
Alderman Schmidt,
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien votes yes, Alderwoman Kelly,
Yes.
Alderman Dowd.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 7 yeas, 0 nays.
And we're adjourned at 7:17 PM.